Hello everybody, welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog Collector's Edition Shadow the Hedgehog figure. I know that before I was talking a lot about how I didn't want the figure. I thought that it didn't come with a lot and, you know, I just wasn't going to buy it. But eventually it did dip under $50. It was $49.97, so I was like, man, whatever. It's not getting any cheaper. And I felt, you know, FOMO, because it's a collector's edition Shadow, so I decided to buy it anyways, and I am not disappointed. As you can see here, I already taken him out of the box to be sure that I liked him, otherwise I was going to send him back. But yeah, I'm not disappointed with my purchase, and we'll get into that. But yeah, let's just take a look at the box here. So taking a look at the box, it's just like all the other collector's edition boxes. It's got a large image of the character on the front, looking glorious. Usually on the sides it shows all the accessories like the hands and the face and eye plates, but Shadow doesn't come with any of that. So it just shows Shadow right here, more wing, and then on the side it shows Shadow with the wings, which looks amazing. And then on the back we got Shadow with the wings, hands, and his back plates. This kind of says everything that he comes with. Premium display base, and I'll touch on that. Shadow the Hedgehog with his amazing speed and raw power. Oh, you can't even see that. Shadow the Hedgehog with his amazing speed and raw power. Shadow can control time and space with Chaos Control or unleash a powerful explosion with his special Chaos Blast ability. So yeah, it's pretty cool. On the bottom we got a nice render of Shadow, and not much else on the top there. Just a window so you can see the figure I've already ripped out. So yeah. That being said, let's take a look at Shadow the Hedgehog. Alright, and here's Shadow out of the box. Just no changes made besides some posing. This is just how he looks out of the box. And I think that, all in all, he looks great. $50 great? Not yet. But I think that he is just a nice looking Shadow figure. Definitely the best and most accurate that we've ever gotten from anyone ever. So there's that. It's a very nice looking figure, but we're not going to look at the figure yet. First, we're going to start with his display base. Now, this display base can be described as a few things. You know, premium isn't what I would use, though. I'd say lackluster, maybe a little thin, cheap. It's not my favorite one. There's a lot that could have been done. It's a $50 figure, so I keep this in mind when it comes to things like these, and I'm a little more harsh. This is boring. There's two total colors. There could have been more paint in these decals right here. Some sort of wash to make the cracks stand out across all this. And the main part where he stands is literally just like some sort of beige-ish kind of cream color. There's no difference. Like, there's just darker beige, lighter beige. That's it. It almost blends in with my wall. So it's very boring display base, I think. So the other figures, other collector's edition figures, actually do come with what I would say are, you know, deluxe display bases, or however they described it. So to compare, this is Sonic's display base, and this is Shadow's display base. And I mean, clearly one of them is better than the other, and Sonic's is the one that's better than Shadow's. Like, no, there's no doubt about it. There's not a single person who would say, actually, I think I like Shadow's better. It's so colorful. It fully fits the figure. We take Sonic and we put him on here. I mean, he's fully on there. There's a background behind him and everything. It fully fits his feet, and you can put him kind of however you want on here. Like, there's no limitation to the posing of, like, you know, there's a lot of leg space, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, Sonic can be very, like, dynamic on this and get him into a lot of poses with nothing, like, behind him. Like, it's got this behind him, but it doesn't really, it's spacious. So you can do a lot with this figure and get him really posed up with how you want him. This is way too small to allow anything besides a basic Shadow standing pose. Like, if we get him on here, there's no running poses for him. You can't bend the knees back unless you fully tilt him forward like this, get him up like this. That doesn't look good. And I mean, I guess you could do that, but like, it just, the base doesn't work to get anything more dynamic than this out of Shadow. And I'm really disappointed with that because, I mean, I love the display. I love everything that come with the collection figures. The what are they called? the collector's edition figures. I don't know why I forgot what they're called, but I like everything that came with this Sonic. I loved it all. I loved the Wisp. I loved the base. I love all of his hands and like face expressions. He came with so much, and it like was worth $50. I think. I mean, the figure itself maybe not worth $50, but when you add everything in there and all that he came with, it was a very, I mean, good figure. And I'd say still maybe $50 is a bit much, but I mean, I'm not upset that I bought him for $50. I really like the figure, and the base is a huge, very important part of that, because as I just showed, it really limits how posable the figure can be on the shelf if you want to use as a display base. So yeah, this base isn't cutting it for me. I'll still have to use it for one reason. Actually, it's right here. It has a little, I just tried to plug it in the wrong way. I'm stupid. Anyways, it has a clear little thing that pops in here, and this grabs onto Shadow here, which normally he doesn't really need this. He can stand fine on his own when he's like this, but oh, okay, maybe I won't be using it because I didn't break it. Okay, thank God. But it's important later on, and I mean, I'm sure you can guess why. So yeah, I'll still have to use it, and I still will use the base. It's not awful, it's just not, it's not even half as good as the old ones that we got. Like, okay, if Shadow wants to get off there. Like, I mean, seriously, why is my camera so tilted? Dang. But yeah, as I was saying, and I have been saying, there's just no contest. I mean, all the brick detail on here, you can like move it around and it kind of like looks like you're looking around there. The effect doesn't come off on camera very well, but you know, it's got that holographic sort of thing. So as you change the way you're looking at it, I mean, it follows you. It's cool. It's a cool base. I like it. It's even though it looks kind of 3D in person, not so. Oh, it kind of does on camera. Oh, there we go. You got the holographic look there. But yeah, either way, I feel like this base compared to this base, just it blows it out of the water, and it's the same price point. All right, next up, we're going to take a look at Shadow's accessories, and I have them all laid out here, and they look pretty cool. He comes with 2 different sets of hands, fisted hands, and, you know, his open hands. And then he, of course, comes with the extra base plate for these massive, gorgeous wings. I love the wings. Which video was it? It was the Sonic, like, who has the better figures, Sonic vs. Shadow or something. That I think I said that I didn't want to get the Shadow Collector's figure because I didn't think the wings would look cool, and I'd rather have all the other extra like mouth and eye plates. But I honestly don't know if I'm so sure about it, so sure about that anymore, because I have put the wings on him, and it changed my whole perspective on this figure. So, but I'll show you guys that in a little bit. So, taking a look at Shadow's accessories, as I mentioned, open hands, fisted hands, and wing accessories. When it came to Sonic, he came with, and I don't feel like taking his off, so he came with these hands, like, you know, the open, 2 of these open hands. Here's the other one. He came with this pointing hand. He came with 2 fists, a sort of the same as the Shadow one, like open palm like that. And then he came with his eyes and his face plates, and of course the eyes and face plates that are in here. So Sonic came with a lot of stuff to really customize your figure and make him look, I mean, just as cool and like awesome as you wanted him to look. He's very customizable and very versatile on the shelf. You can display him basically however you want him to look. Shadow, however, only comes with, I mean, a fully molded head sculpt that doesn't come apart. Don't mind his missing hands here. So he's always got angry eyes and an open tooth scowl, which, granted, looks nice. And I just think that it would have been nice to have him with this sort of facial expression, sort of his neutral, whatever, not always action, angry, like whatever. But, I mean, with these wings, I can kind of see why they had to cheap out on some of the accessories, because these things are excellently made. So, to stop comparing Shadow to Sonic here, let's take a look at just Shadow's accessories. So the hands are very nicely sculpted, and actually one more comparison I'd like to make. I love the way they did these hands more than the other collector's edition figures. The other ones, like Sonic's here, are done with a ball joint right there, and it's very, very tight. Like, to rotate the hands or to pop them out and change them out is a chore, so I hardly do it. But with Shadow, they pop out. They just have this little peg, sturdy. It's not, doesn't feel like it's going to break on you. You can still use its articulation on there, and I'll get into that when I do the articulation segment. But it's just a nice version of the hands, and they pop in and out super easy, and makes changing the hands out so much easier and so much better. And actually, I am forgetting an accessory on Shadow here. Let me just pop that out. There we are. Unrelated, though, because we're still looking at hands. Very nicely molded. You got some of the wrinkles on the glove there. And here's his sort of, like, grabby hand. I don't know. This feels like a very Shadow-appropriate hand. Like, the evil laugh, sort of, like what villains do when they're laughing evilly. But Shadow doesn't chuckle. But he doesn't flex his muscles either. He just doesn't chuckle. So, either way, this hand is, I don't know how to describe it, but it's very Shadow. That, like, feels like something Shadow would do, because he does do it a lot. And then, of course, two-fisted hands for Shadow to punch out anyone that gets in his way or makes him angry, or to just shake his fist at people he doesn't like. So, yeah. As for his back accessories, he comes with the full quills if you don't want to display him with the wings for whatever reason, because why wouldn't you? Anyways, so here he is, or here's the quills. There's a couple of back quills. And then here are the here's the back accessory for the wings. And it's kind of cool because you can see them kind of widen out and then get a little shinier. It's a different color, almost a darker black, you can tell. Shinier, and it kind of feeds into the transformation of the wings, sort of, like, really well when you put it together. But yeah, so here are those two together. And finally, the best accessory this figure has to offer, the wings. Look at these wings. They are massive, and when they're on the figure, it just makes them stand out, like, really. So, taking a look at the wings here, you got, like, the nice shiny sort of goop, whatever, doom power that runs through. For some reason, it doesn't go through all of these, and I think the figure, or the wings themselves, would have looked a lot better if the shine went through all of these, like, sort of vein-looking things. But the gradient on the tips of the wings look beautiful. It's very nicely done. And the wings overall just look great. And they port easily into this back piece. Actually, I say that, but they fall out very easily. But, I mean, they stick in just fine. They also come out a little easy, if you ask me. But, yeah, these wings are gorgeous and articulated, so you can make them even longer if you want to, or you can shorten them down all the way. So this is all the way shortened, by the way. They're very long. And then, of course, some bending at the side here, and I'll demonstrate that on the figure as best I can without popping them out. But, yeah, it's the wing pieces are very cool. I'm a big fan of these. I think that they look spectacular, and I have to put them all the way back here to display them both for the camera. So, yeah, both sides, of course, look pretty good. They do seem to be like the same wing, just mirrored, which, I mean, is fine. I'm not expecting different positioned veins depending on which wing it is. Like, I didn't look into the wings that much. I don't even know if they're like that in the game. So, yeah, very nice looking pieces, though. I think that they look great. Now to take a look at Shadow himself. And there's a lot that I like and a lot that I dislike about the figure. More that I like, honestly, now that I have him out of the box. So, starting off, I mean, look at him. This looks like an actual, like, in-game render almost, if it weren't for the joints. He looks spectacular. The mold is done so incredibly well. It looks a little yellow on camera, but his skin tone is the best it's ever looked on any Jakks specific, like, Shadow figure. This is just peak Shadow accuracy. This is the most accurate Shadow figure we've ever gotten, which is to be expected when it comes to the collector's line. Jakks is very good at making accurate figures that look, I mean, identical to their in-game counterparts. So that's a huge, like, plus for this figure, especially because they made the limbs a lot thinner and changed the joints up. So when you take Sonic here, he looks jacked. He looks like huge arms, huge legs next to Shadow, and it's because of the joints in here and the joints they used. But they did this so that way the joints would be a little bit more sturdy. So the thing with Shadow and his joints, and one con that I have with him, is that the joints do feel a little weak. I mean, you put the leg up and you try and kick and it sways around like kind of loosely, feels a little cheap. The joints, my major thing is that they feel a little bit like the Sonic Prime figures in some areas. Of course, they aren't as bad as this Prime figures joints, in my opinion, but some ways they feel almost like them, and it's, I don't know, they just feel a little flimsy sometimes. They don't squeak as bad as the Prime figures, thank God, and they hold pretty decently well. It's mainly just the leg ones that don't hold, so it's a very small con with the joints, because they traded out big sturdy joints for a more accurate figure, and when it only affects the legs, which with the base they gave you, you can't really even pose all that much, I feel like it's a win. So stronger joints would have been nice, but I mean, the figure holds just fine in basic standing poses. It's just a little bit weak sometimes, but I don't know, I feel the figure still looks great. One thing I think they probably could have done is made his inhibitor rings actually gold instead of like bright yellow. I mean, again, $50 figure, so using some metallic paint would have been nice. It doesn't take away from the figure too badly, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like just using the gold paint, just that little extra inch would have made the figure look a lot better. So, yeah, but I mean, other than that, the paint, speaking of, is applied really great. I think that all around the figure looks awesome. I like his stripes on his legs. I think the ones on his arms are a little bit short, but I mean, I'll live. I mean, like, it's not his defining feature that he has stripes on his arms, so who cares? I think that all of the, I mean, the top looks a little rough with all of the seams and stuff, but I mean, you aren't going to display him like this or something, so you don't see it when he's looking on like this. For the price point, I think it would have been nice to have a bit of a cleaner top, but if it doesn't affect the posing, I guess whatever. Yeah, he has very nice articulation. Let's get into some of the articulation here. So his head pops all the way around, or I guess swivels all the way around. It doesn't pop. No up or down or side to side or anything. He has a ab joint that makes it so he can go all the way around like this, or I guess side to side. I'm not brave enough to try all the way around, but that's very cool. His arms go down about this far, which they could have gone down further, maybe, but I digress. His arms go very far up, though, and all the way around, bend at the elbow, and then swivel at the elbow as well. And then the wrists very sturdily go down and up without feeling like they're going to break on these tiny pegs. And yeah, I mean, very nicely done. He has butterfly joints right here, and he does have a bicep swivel as well. Legs kick out about this far, kick back about this far, although the kickback functionality doesn't really matter if you're using their stand. Anyways, so the leg goes all the way around like so, even on its own. So a little bit, unhappy with how they did the leg joints, but oh well. He has a thigh swivel that you can use, and his knee bends about 90 degrees like so, kicks out this far, and then he has no ankle pivot at the ankle there, but his shoes are on a ball joint, or I guess whatever this is, goes forward this far, backwards, that far, very far, and then he does have ankle pivot just under the inhibitor rings, the bright yellow inhibitor rings. So yeah, obviously the figure isn't my favorite collector's edition figure. I have a lot of glaring issues with it. However, I mean, it still looks great. As much as I'm complaining, don't get the wrong idea. Don't think I don't like this figure, because I really do. I really do like the figure. It's just, I feel they could have done a lot better. But now to show off the coolest part, and that is the wings. So if you bend his arms forward like this, I guess, or I guess you don't have to, as long as you can get the quills off back here, you can pop on our little transformation piece right there, stick it in there, And then you port the wings in here, and I'm going to do that off camera because the wings are so massive, you wouldn't be able to see it anyways. But just to do quick size comparison here, he stands at just under 6 inches tall from the tip of his ear, as you can see. And here he is next to Sonic the Hedgehog Collector's Edition. And they actually don't look that bad together. I mean, the limbs kind of look off, and because he has this sort of segmented body because of the extra articulation, it looks a little off, but overall it's not noticeable enough like of a difference between figures. I think they still look great together. But then also here is Tails, who I think Tails looks great next to him. I think as far as accuracy goes, the Tails is still the best. The material, the plastic they use to make him matte, like, and just the sculpt work on this guy, he is, like, there's no issues, I don't think, with how he looks. I think that this is the perfect, like, Tails figure. But he looks great next to Shadow, who looks great next to Sonic. They all look great together, all the modern characters. I really hope we get a Knuckles soon, or even a Super Sonic. But yeah, here they all are next to each other. And here's Shadow in all of his glory with the beautiful Doom wings. This is how I'm definitely displaying him. I mean, I'll do some changes with the arms and stuff, put different hands in. But this figure with the wings in is just outstanding. I mean, I'm not even too disappointed now that they didn't include the extra mouthpieces or eyepieces, because these wings are so incredibly good that, I mean, who cares what his expression is? I'd probably use this expression with the wings. Not saying that they couldn't have included his other expressions, but, I mean, just look at him. He already looks good. So, I mean, just admire him, I guess. I don't know. These wings give him such a large shelf presence, and it makes his stand like necessary to use, though, because of the waist clip that he has on here. So you can't really display him without, or else he'll fall over like that. But like, obviously he's gonna fall over. These are giant hunks of plastic on his back, and they are, I mean, amazing. If this isn't long enough for you, of course you can extend them even more out of frame entirely. You can lock them back into place like this. There's, I mean, a lot of posing you can do with the wings, and I mean, they also flap back like this. Not sure why you'd, oh, and this one just pops out. Oh, I could show the camera. This one pops out really easily. So, if I want to do that, I have to kind of push in on it a little bit, but I mean, you can get them into a lot of good poses as long as the wing stays in. Let's get that back in there. But yeah, this figure with the wings really makes it, and $50 make it. I don't know if it's $50 like worth it, but all I'm saying is I spent $50 on it, and I'm not super mad. Again, stuff could have been done better, but at the end of the day, it's the most accurate Shadow figure we've ever gotten. He looks wonderful, even with some of the small issues I have with him. He displays perfectly, and he looks wonderful. And I mean, just look at him with these wings, man. How can you not want to pick this up with those wings? I honestly can't believe I was downplaying the wings before, saying how, like, the wings weren't worth it and how I'd rather have different accessories. The wings are worth it. The wings are, they're so cool. They make him so incredibly large. He takes up so much shelf presence. Like, he's very noticeable on the shelf compared to some of the other collector figures just because of the wings, and I love him for it. I think that this is just, it's a great figure. Better than like some of the others. I'd still say that despite Sonic's beefy limbs, Sonic's still my favorite of all of them. Maybe it's character bias. I do prefer Sonic over Shadow, but also his display base and posability, like being able to get into some good running poses on the base, without the leg kind of shifting from side to side, like just quality of life sort of stuff with this figure that I like better, while still looking, I mean, like the most accurate Sonic we've gotten. So he's not perfect. Shadow's not perfect. Sonic's not perfect. I mean, the limbs are beefy. So But this shadow is still great, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say from there. But here's Shadow posed up. I'll probably have him on the shelf, and I mean, I don't regret buying him at all. I wish I would have got him sooner. Honestly, as soon as he dropped to $50, I really wish I'd have got him, because he really is a great figure. So, I mean, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, though. If you made it to the end, thank you again for watching, I guess. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.